Okay. Welcome to the Thursday Tea Gathering. This gathering is designed for ambitious, determined, especially women leaders who want to join the sisterhood to unlock any doubts, self-doubt, confusion, and how to find the best ways to pursue and to do what you love. Welcome to join us, and to Instagram. Let me know if you want the link to join our Zoom. So I'll be taking questions from the Zoom. I'll try to check the chat as well, but we'll be gathering here on Zoom. Yay, welcome Sari to join. I see that you're driving, so hopefully all good. So today, what I want to share with you is my 3 best ways how to unlock your options to get the desired outcomes that you have. Meanwhile, I'll also take your questions. What are your burning questions that you want answers to? And like this is a Thursday tea. I actually do have, but it's a coffee because I love the Italian mocha that we have here in Turin. So North Italy, calling from Turin today. Where are you joining us from? Type in the chats here on Zoom or Instagram. I would love to hear, because this is a global gathering, how we can really network with like-minded leaders, entrepreneurs who want to propel their successes. So I'll do my best to answer your burning questions and take your input, take your ideas, because here the purpose of these Thursday teas are to really not only network, but help each other to succeed. So I'll get right to it, and people can join in and out on Zoom here as well. And watch the recording. I will be sharing the recording on YouTube as well. So those of you who missed the beginning can listen to this later. I do invite you to come every Thursday. We go live here on Zoom, sometimes on Facebook, sometimes on Instagram. We'll see what works for you the best, but the idea is to gather on Zoom to see your faces, to get your questions answered. Let me introduce myself shortly. So if we haven't met, I am Kaisa, originally from Finland, where I lived about 30 years before. My love journey totally changed my whole life, and I changed everything at once. I left my home country, moved to London. I pivoted. I studied a new profession. So from marketing, I transitioned to coaching and started my coaching, mentoring, training business. And since, you know all what happened the past few years, COVID happened. So we've been taking the most of the remote working options to network around the world, have experts join my events to help you succeed. Also doing private coaching and group coaching, hosting different workshops, masterclasses. Around the world, people gather to join and find ways how to succeed in their personal life and professional life. And why I do address both is that always they very often or always they are very intertwined, because when I found my current husband, we met. That kick-started my career transition. Like I said, I started thinking, what do I want to do next that would allow us to live together? He moved from the States to London, and I then started my whole career pivot from another field to entrepreneurship because of love. So I want you to think about what are your priorities, and especially what is your number one priority that helps you to make decisions. So when you know that, we can start looking at options, and maybe you have some options already. I was kind of thinking the 3 best ways I want to share with you and giving you some examples, especially from a coaching call I had today, because it had great examples for this. But first of all, I do want to say that number one, I think, is the mindset. For me, and I think I was sharing this with you last time, is that I thought I was very realistic, which is good, but actually it was my pessimistic thinking, and I was limiting myself. So when I, let's say, practiced a growth mindset, if you want to call it growth mindset, I also want to say that thinking of, instead of scarcity and lack of, what are the possibilities? What can I create and happen? What can happen? So this started around when I was 24, 25. And since I've been in this very conscious inner work, personal development journey that has then changed everything basically in my life. Not the core me, I'm more connected to myself, but seeing the opportunities. For example, now I wouldn't be traveling around the world, connecting with experts, leaders, entrepreneurs, and helping others to create the successes, whatever success means for you. If I didn't do this journey. So it started, like I said, number one was the mindset. How am I talking to myself? How am I talking to others? Is it seeing the obstacles and challenges, or is it actually seeing the opportunities? What can we create? And this might be daunting, because especially if we are thinking of something new that we haven't done yet, or what hasn't happened yet, how do we know what's going to happen? And some of my favorite questions is like, what's the worst that can happen? And Lotta, if you're there, I would like to hear your opinions on that. I see you there on Instagram. But yeah, I would say that for you to unlock any options that you're thinking, first of all, having the mindset that you actually are looking at the right options that are the best ones for you. And this comes not from the scarcity mindset, but from abundance, from the growth mindset. So what are you wanting to create? Oh, my hair is still wet. I had a good workout. So on top of mental well-being, the physical well-being is a key for this as well, to have a clear mind, for your brain to function. And that helps me to think about the options. Oh. I'm gonna move quickly to the next one. No, let me tell you an example of this, actually, about the mindset. Okay, we were paused. I think we are back. From the coaching session today, I'm coaching an expert on a field that the field is having a lot of challenges at the moment. And we were looking at the options, what he wants to do next in his career. And what would be the work opportunities that he wants to create. And he's had interviews and people contacting him, which is great. And what I was hearing from him is that he was kind of reflecting what he's been doing before, and if he was giving some new opportunities that he didn't have a lot of experience, maybe it was lack of confidence or not thinking that as a first opportunity. So I invited him to think like, what opportunities do you want? Also, what do you want to grow? So how can your experience and what you want to learn, how can they go together to see, for example, the next opportunities in your career? Or in entrepreneurship, for you entrepreneurs, that's what I was thinking when I was doing my pivot and building my business, is like, what do I enjoy, but where do I want to grow? And coaching is amazing because I got so many tools for myself, but also for others, to help others with this coaching tool. So I think that was very fulfilling for me to think about, like, what is the area that I want to grow, and help also then be able to use those skills. And there's this constant learning journey. I was just in an amazing emotional intelligence leadership training this spring and graduated, and I can tell you more about that later. But yeah, it's like, for me, and I know for some of my clients, they really have love for learning as well. So how can you cultivate that growth and learning mindset? Okay, so the second one I wanted to share with you is worth. Self-worth. This is what I've found challenging, and I know I'm not the only one, because this comes up in a lot of conversation. And we only create what we think we are worthy of. So even the options that we think come from what we think we are worthy of. So I want you all to think about, like, is this again coming from the scarcity and lack of mindset, or are you thinking about yourself like from the possibilities, from your greatness, from your uniqueness, and thinking about the options, what it is that you want to create in your life, career, business? This all applies to that. So what do you think you are worthy of? That is what you're creating. Hey, welcome to join the Thursday tea gathering. I see some more people coming in. So if you want to join on camera, that would be great, or type in the chat, where are you from? So great to see you again, Alan. So we are talking about the 3 best ways to unlock options to create the outcomes and results that you want in life and business. Like I said, the mindset, that was first, and now the second one, what you think you're worthy of, applies to all the areas. So these are actually for thinking about the options. This impacts to the options that you are even having in front of you, and what are you looking at. So before we go to the outcomes, how to turn these options to outcomes, I want you to have the options that you think that are the best ones for you. And not only what you think, this is also where coaching and mentoring comes so useful, is that sometimes we are very limited in our thinking, what we think that is possible, or we think that what we can do, and not from the growth mindset that what do we want to learn. And like children, they don't learn to walk right at once, but it takes them time to get up and fall, and get up and fall before they are walking. So the same applies. I know you know this, but just wanted to throw it out there. But I want to give an example of the self-worth. What does it concretely mean? For example, I'm now negotiating with one organization about providing coaching services for them and their clients. And in these negotiations, it's interesting because it's both like what do they want and what they offer, but also like for me to know what I'm worth, what kind of value I can bring, and what kind of compensation I'm asking from that service. So now we've been negotiating. I got an offer. I did an offer and I got an offer back. And now I'm thinking, okay, what is the offer I want to put out there? Because I don't think I'm totally aligned with the last one. So for me, it's so easy to think about like, oh, what are they offering, and being like limited in a way to see like the offer that they give. And sometimes I fall back too much thinking about the others, where actually you get to look at yourself first, especially because this means like a lot of time commitment from my part. That what does it mean for my weeks, for my days, for my business, for my well-being, for my time management, a lot of things at once. So I just wanted to say that out loud. So how does it concretely show up in my life? And is that what do I think my services are worth and what I feel worthy of? How do I want to spend my time? What kind of compensation I get? And when I'm working with them, of course, then that time and energy goes to that project and collaboration. So then that time is away from something else. So I want to be clear with myself, and especially about the options we've been bouncing back and forth before I make my offer and agree to this collaboration. I'm so excited about that because the collaboration is amazing. I'll tell you later, but this is what I mean, like thinking about the options to the desired outcomes is know your self-worth. Okay, give me some thumbs up if this is making sense to you. So this is what I wanted to put out there. Please let me know in the chat if you have some comments or questions around these. So yeah, we were looking at the outcomes, how to think about the options that you have. So how can we take these options and actually make them to the desired results and outcomes that you want to create? What do you think? What would be the best way? Like I mentioned earlier, it's great to know your priorities. We have about 6 to 8 life areas just to feel satisfied, to fulfill those life areas, to feel satisfied and happy in our life. And I would advise from those priorities that you have currently to know what is the number one priority, because that will help you to make decisions. Looking at the options, and then based off of that, what kind of decisions you make. And this was my my example from my personal life, that when I met my current husband, I was so certain I wanted to get to know him. I wanted to see where our relationship goes, because I was very clear on what I value in a life partner, and he was ticking the boxes basically. There was only three, and would maybe apply to many people. Well, you would think, but it took a while for me to find that person that I want to spend my time and life with. So because I was so certain of that, and love and relationship and family, having a family is, and romance is my number one value. Well, there was many. There was romance, love, relationship, family. So that's a big, let's call it a big umbrella. But I was willing to change my career, though I was very afraid to make all those pivot from my 10-year successful career to jump to something totally different. I had the secure, nice lifestyle in Helsinki. I had just bought an apartment. I was in a permanent job that I enjoyed. I had the freedom and tools to use my creativity. That was amazing. But I knew that in order for me to be happy, I needed to make changes in my life. And then that also applied to my career, because we didn't have the remote working option as we do today, because this was pre-COVID. And I was marketing and organizing like live events, in-person events. So yes, that was my big introduction. Knowing your number one value is usually there behind when you make decisions. So when you are aware of your number one value, your priority, how you want to call it, I can call it love, that kickstarted changing all the other areas so that I can create harmony and the lifestyle that I want. So that was like kind of the number 3, let's say. But yeah, knowing your priorities will make you to make decisions when you look at your options. Let's say you have 10 options and you think about like, okay, what do you value the most? And then you can start taking down the options to the one that is aligned with your priorities, what you want. And this is also combined with the self-worth, because when you know what you're worthy of, and if you think that you're worthy of the life, the dreams that you want, then you can create that. And I can say honestly that I was like, oh my God, am I like worthy of this love? It's amazing. Like, can I have this for myself? There was a lot of doubts, especially because that meant moving to a new country so that we could meet and live together. And there was a lot of doubts, like, what if we don't work? I was making all kind of plans, like I said, I just had a new mortgage. So how can I feel comfortable leaving my career and my permanent job when I have a mortgage to pay? So there was a lot of things that I needed to consider, lay out all the options, make all the plans, and I was living in my head trying to figure things out. And this is where I want to go to the number 3. The best ways to unlock your options to the desired results and outcomes is trusting and following your intuition. I know that sounds maybe lame to some of you, but I've made my best decisions based on intuition. And by intuition, I also mean that when you're really listening to your desires, your dreams, your needs, and feeling worthy of those, that you can have what you really want, is that narrowing down those options might sometimes feel difficult. Even when you know your priorities, there might be some doubts or something related. And I believe that intuition is built in us for a reason, because that's there to guide us. So, like I mentioned, it hasn't been easy to, especially to trust my intuition, but when you practice listening your intuition and trusting it and following it and really making those decisions, I assure you that those feel the right decisions. And then full steam ahead. After that, I believe when you're so certain, like this is the best option, and making the decision and feeling grounded, making the decision powerfully, knowing what is the right one for you, you then have the certainty, the confidence, and courage to go after that. If you don't, type me in the chats and I'll talk to you later. I always forgot my coffee, so I'm gonna drink it before it gets cold. But yeah, those were my three best ways that how you can really unlock the options and choose the right one, feeling confident and feeling certain that the options are, first of all, right and best ones and suitable for you. And then when you make the decision, which one it is, that you feel worthy of that. And you have the sense of that being the best option. That is a very powerful place to be. And I do want to also say that we are never running out of decisions. We can always make new decisions. But I also think that so often people think that when we make a decision, it's very finite, like it's indefinite. And that's really not the case. In most cases, it's not. And just as an example, when I was choosing to step out from my previous relationship, very long relationship, I was thinking that if we are meant to be together, we will come back together. And this was almost 9 years being together, so it wasn't easy to leave then. I was very, very young, and we started dating when I was 17. So I needed to find myself, but this is also related to the intuition that I couldn't figure out. He was a good man. He still is a good man, I believe. So, and I was just thinking like, okay, pluses and minuses, like staying together or leaving. And I just had this feeling that I was so young and lost that I need to be alone to discover who Kaisa is and who Kaisa wants to be, because the relationship was defining a lot of my identity then. I was so young. So in the end, I was thinking the pluses and minuses, and probably this is what you do when you have different options and a challenge in front of you, a question in front of you. And when I just couldn't figure it out, I dropped from my head to my heart and really listened to what do I need? What is the most important for me to do at that moment? So that's why the number 3, the intuition, is not only a very personal for me, but I've used it since. also when I met my current husband and totally followed him around the world, being in a long distance relationship that I thought I could never do. And we did that for 2 years before I had the courage to move in together, to leave my home country, like I mentioned, and pivot in my career. Why I'm sharing you this advice is that I want to help you to succeed with less time, with joy and ease, and not have the same challenges and struggles that I've had. So I hope this was helpful for you. I'm gonna see if there's some questions, but this Thursday tea or coffee, but Thursday tea rhymes with the sisterhood is meant for us to connect, to learn. I'm here to give my best tips and advice that has propelled me to successes in life and business. And like I mentioned, these 3 tips that I just shared are applicable to any relationship, your career, your business. So let me know, how are you using your mindset, your sense of self-worth and your intuition to think about the best options, to make decisions, and then to get the desired outcomes that you have. So like I said, hopefully this was helpful for you, and I see you next week at the Thursday tea. Bring your burning questions, so how I can support you. I'll try my best to answer your questions, whatever you have. And if not, we'll figure it out together. Why I'm also organizing these is that I want you to network with each other, to celebrate your successes and help overcome any challenges getting in your way. Very often it is this part, our mind getting in our own way. And that's why these mindset, self-worth, and intuition, I also wanted to put out there that hopefully this will help you to also get out of the loop wherever you are, thinking from the lack of or scarcity. I was there. I was totally there before I had the courage to jump and do all the life changes and career changes that I did. And now I help others to really plan and maybe do the changes one at a time. Not that I did like everything at once, moving in together, closing the long distance to moving in together to a new country. So leaving my family and my home country, also leaving my corporate career, that permanent job that I had, to totally pivot to a new profession, new field, and from employment to entrepreneurship. So you can only imagine, and not to mention the hobbies and everything. So you can only imagine what it is to jump in a new culture and doing all these at once. I've had the best support. I'm gonna get emotional just thinking about it, thinking about my husband and how amazing it was, and he being a patient, and he almost broke up with me. He was tired of waiting. Well, almost broke up. He broke up with me, but I didn't take it. I said, like, our story didn't finish yet, so I'm moving here next month when my study leave starts. So he gave me an opportunity to show him that I am committed to our relationship, and here we are years later, married. So I didn't lose him. So how important the mindset, feeling worthy of the lifestyle and love and relationship, and following my intuition to make these changes has propelled me to these successes that I find in my life, which is related to love, love for my profession, love for helping others to succeed. What is important for you to living according to your priorities? Okay, I've been chatting a lot. Thank you, Sari. It was good to listen. Yes, have a wonderful time with your son, and you know your priorities. So go enjoy your time with your son, and see you next time, next Thursday here as well. And do share this invitation with others who you think would really want to connect with other entrepreneurs, women leaders. Men are also welcome. So, but I do feel like there's always a place to come together with the sisterhood. But yes, I do help coaches as well. I coach also men that I'm getting confused when I'm trying to listen and read at the same time and talk. So that said, I'll see you next time on the Thursday Tea Moment. What I do want to share with you is an opportunity that next month, so starting from next week, I have new programs. So if you want to make a major pivot in your career and have a clear vision of what it would look like, what your career and life would look like before summer, and really making the pivot in 3 months, or if you want to launch your business, if you want to pivot to entrepreneurship and launch your service business, this program is designed for other coaches, consultants, therapists, creative professionals, really any service provider who wants to have their online business or leverage their online business, or perhaps launch some new services. This 90-day experience is really designed for you. It has all the needed areas for you to launch a business, whether it is a part-time, full-time, whether it is online or a local service business. So do email me, kaisa@liviajoy.com, or drop me a message wherever you are listening. Or YouTube, when I put this on YouTube, and I'll connect, we can chat and see if this opportunity is for you. I have outlined the program, putting my best knowledge from my business degree, my corporate career, and now entrepreneurship all together to this 12-week program that will help you to get clear on your vision before summer, and then have a ready service business, service concepts to launch in August, to have a profitable business that will be sustainable, because we look at your time management and your priorities and how to align your entrepreneurship or the next career pivot to your priorities. So we'll be touching a lot of topics there. Drop me a message if you're interested, and I'll see if this is a fit for us both to work together. But until that, I'll see you on the next Thursday Tea. Thank you for joining, and see you again